Today we're talking about nightmare with the Euroshield rubber shingles. This week Euroshield post went viral. Someone named Sean McCord started with unpopular opinion. This was my first and last Euroshield rubber roofing roof. Posting this here as a heads up to any contractor or homeowner planning on installing this product. The Vermont HP shingles faded to a lighter color around the JF solar power fan, which is supposed to be impossible according to Euroshield. And he goes on a rant, how David was absolutely awesome through the whole process. Don't be fooled, they will try to find a way out of their defects and stuff like that. And of course, he posted a couple pictures, and pictures did not look very good. So I dig into it. So I talked to Leslie. I tried to understand what took place here. And one thing that I want to say right away, I absolutely love how Euroshield approach this dispute. Manufacturers these days have two options. Option number one is to send cease and desist letter, try to shush the contractor, shush the homeowner. They probably have legal rights to do so from bashing them. They're probably protected by law. That's why so many do. And second type of manufacturers are the one who's trying to fix the problem. Open their ears and see if there's anything that they could do different. And Euroshield chose second option. They decided not to fight back, not to send lawyers on it. Leslie jumped on a plane, flew, met with the homeowner. Homeowner actually does not have a problem with the product. Homeowner is happy with the roof that he chose. And the problem here is a little bit different, but I want you to hear it from Leslie, who is currently in Alabama. I just talked to her this morning. She just met with a homeowner yesterday morning. They discussed everything and they settled the case pretty much. But listen to the explanation, what really took place here. Hey there.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. Just in Mobile, waiting to head back to Calgary.
Do you consider the problem solved now? Did you find a resolution?
Really, the resolution in this case is to leave it as it is. The homeowner is comfortable with that. So what we're seeing is we've got a power vent in a very large attic space. It's a large home. It's already a 6,000 square foot home. The attic space itself is about 3,000 square foot, very large volume, high ceilings. And it is well ventilated from the standpoint that it was maybe somewhere around 85, 88 degrees when we were there yesterday. Ambient air temperature inside the attic was around 110. We saw that it was about 119 fairly consistently on the bottom side of the roof deck. Then we could see that on the shingle, we could see a variation away from that vent where the surface temperature was about 153 degrees, but right around that vent, because we had such a high volume of air flowing, it was right around 117 degrees. And so we have a very significant temperature differential. And so what's happening is because of that significant temperature differential with that fan that is always running, it is a solar fan. It's also hardwired in. It is keeping the material right around that vent from weathering in as fast as it normally would when it's exposed to the elements. So there is an option if the homeowner really wanted to, from a visual point of view, to turn off that fan and allow it to weather in. He could vent his attic in a different way temporarily if he wanted to. There is a faux window where the glazing could be removed, but his preference is just to leave it as it is. He's got a roof that he is certainly proud of, has a lot of neighbors come by and ask what is on his roof. He's happy with his material selection. Unfortunately, it was just a case where some of the things that were posted weren't the feeling of the homeowner or ourselves as far as what we're seeing.
But you saying that it would go away if it's off, so the rest of the roof will weather in, or how would it go away now?
Yeah, so the assumptions were that because there was a fan blowing attic air, that it must be hotter air around that fan by some of the people that were commenting, and that our material must be aging faster there. It's actually the exact reverse, because of course, when you have a roof slope that's sitting there and heating up, it's a much higher temperature than the ambient air or even the air inside the attic. And that's where we saw that surface temperature was about 153 degrees at 88 degrees outside. It's not that the material is fading a lighter color around that vent. It's actually that the amount of airflow, the volume of airflow is keeping that material from weathering in as quickly. So one thing that came up is what I've said previously true? Does our material act differently than other people's products? And it actually it does, from the sense that because our base material is recycled tires, our base material is black. And so as those color pigments break down to some extent in our materials actually get darker, not lighter, like a plastic-based product, vinyl siding, whatever it might be. And so that is actually what's happening, where the color change happens fairly rapidly, say in the first year. And this has been the part of the year, of course, it just hasn't gone through fall yet. So that color change has happened where the shingles that are not right around the vent have actually weathered in and darkened. And the shingles that are right near the vent have not yet fully weathered in. It is a little bit different scenario. It's a very large roof, large attic. That solar fan's working well and everything came together. We don't typically see it where a vent provides that much differentiation in how that roof weathers in.
I mean, you heard it from Leslie. I think she describes it pretty good. I just want to add that it's a business problem. We fix problems on a daily basis. Every job is different. Stuff will break in a way it never broke before, but how you solve it, it matters. Today, I'm going to say it proudly, I still recommend Euroshield. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I have insurance adjuster coming to my house to check on my roof. I actually have a contractor I'm working with, someone I recommend. I'm replacing windows on my house, and we're going to meet insurance adjuster. I don't know if it's like, I did not even check for wind or hail damage. I let someone else to look at it. But in case, if I do need to replace my roof, I probably will go with the Euroshield. It's still on top of my list, despite the fact that posts like this exist, and despite the fact that some contractors like to react and act so fast. This is not your typical situation. I mean, if you make this carpet wet and you put a fan to dry it in one area, around that fan it's going to dry faster and it will change color faster. That's just basic physics. What's taking place here, it's not a product defect in my opinion, it's not fair engineering towards that product. When you have such a hot air coming to only one part of the roof, it will color differently. I mean, many products would fail in this condition. I don't know what metal roof would do. Would it expand? Would it change its finish faster than the rest of it? I mean, there's many factors. I know that Euroshield acted really well, exactly the way I would expect manufacturers to act. And I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you, Euroshield, for being an example of what good customer service means and what good example of dispute resolution that was. As a manufacturer, you will be having claims. They all have. Owens Corning have claims. CertainTeed has claims. It's how you fix them what matters. No matter how big or small you are, you're going to have product failures. It's just part of the product. Stuff breaks. Automotive industry, Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, they all have recalls. We still like those brands. I mean, phone manufacturers produce bad phones. It's how you fix it. If you believe in a product, you're not going to turn away from that product because you have one situation, one claim, and you heard one story. You're going to investigate. And I have investigated this one. I don't have any reasons to turn away from Euroshield as a content creator. I'm still going to support them. I still want to tell stories of homeowners who picked, and this homeowner actually still proud that he has Euroshield on his house. Yes, that fan did discolor the area at the peak. Yes, at certain lighting, at certain time of the day, it might not look very good, but you know it and I know it. It's still a great product. If you're paying attention to it, if it's eyesore to you, then don't do it. And maybe do a research about fans next time. At the very least, we learn another lesson in construction. Look at what kind of fan they have to ventilate that roof, what kind of size, what kind of temperature before you even touch it to replace it. Because now there's one more factor that can affect discoloration of the roof later. And I think it also could happen to other products like your Da Vinci's probably would be very similar. F-Wave probably would be affected on that roof as well, and probably a few others. So we don't know what we don't know. I don't want to speculate. So I'm still a fan of Euroshield. I think it was very stressful for Euroshield team because it's not easy when your community is bashing you. But I think the way they acted was very honorable and I still support them. Comment below, what do you think about the story? Comment below if you don't like what Euroshield did or how they reacted, and what would you do if you were them in their shoes. And comment below if you have installed Euroshield and you like the product, you like the performance, and if you would sell it to your customers. I read all of my comments and I'll see you guys in the next video.